So Jimmy Carter died. I just noticed I was at the post office, and they're going to be closed January 9th for, federal businesses. But it's interesting how many comments and things are going on. Of course, most people usually say, real positive things. Even Trump managed to say something like, well, he was a nice guy and he had challenges. Well, he really did. And what I can remember is, he's a Baptist, okay, and he has this feeling that everybody's good inside. I don't think that comes from the Baptist church, definitely, but this kind of liberal background that people are basically good. And I think that really thwarted him with the hostage situation. 400 plus people held forever, and it was just one of the great failings. And the rescue mission, people died in a rescue mission that failed, and it's just a horrible mess. And it doesn't seem to me that people are willing to take positions of power, sometimes a more obvious route that would have worked. And I would have just said, we had this money of theirs, which we held, but Barack Obama gave back years later, directly to the people who did this, for their war machine. And what I would have done if I was him, I would have said every day that you keep them, we nationalize some of your interests here in the U.S. And so I would have made like a 2-week schedule. And by the end of 2 weeks, we would have taken everything inside this country that they owned or invested in and turn it over to the federal government. And I think that would have done a lot more than, the negotiations or rescue missions or anything that was such a dismal failure. The only thing that was kind of nice is, so Reagan beats Jimmy Carter for Jimmy Carter's reelection. People go with Ronald Reagan, who's kind of like I don't know if you want to say this, he's like a super personality. He played heroes in movies and things, and he's able to project some kind of really virtue or whatever. So he wins. And so then, the Iranians by this time kind of want to get rid of the hostages. And they wait until Carter is out of office, and they tell Reagan that he can come get them. Well, what does he do? He says, Carter, you go get them, which was really nice. I thought that was a really good thing, like kind of putting a little bit of slap in the face of the captors with, Jimmy Carter still being there. But I think Jimmy Carter was extremely bitter that he didn't win again. But he had other things go wrong. I believe that I read that usually you have to turn, or people do, now Trump didn't, but turn over your businesses to someone else so you can not be in a conflict of interest with them as president, which of course, well, you're going to not be president one day, so you're still going to have that conflict to some degree. But anyway, I think his businesses were mismanaged, and he lost a substantial amount of money while he was president. And like I said, I think he just kind of assumed that he was going to get reelection. And it really stung that he didn't. And I think he kind of, if I remember correctly, now you can correct me if I'm wrong, but he stayed out of the public eye for quite a bit. And then he kind of like resurfaces doing being just a regular worker at Habitat for Humanity. And of course this is great because it gives them an enormous amount of publicity, because people are there saying, oh, Jimmy Carter, what are you doing? So really just the amount of PR that generated for Homes for Humanity for Homes, or whatever. Can you tell? My hair is gray, the matter's gray too in there. And like I say, that was really positive thing. Probably much more positive than the amount of work he actually put in, because this, having the positive parts of what you're doing when you're an organization like that, you know, a nonprofit organization, out in the public is enormous. People think, oh yeah, let's donate to them. Oh yeah, they're doing this in Portland. Maybe I can give them a hand. You know, different things like that. So that was really major. I guess there were a few things where we went over to different countries. He was he was somewhere once to certify someone else's election, you know, make sure the election was up and up and stuff like that. But I do think his problem was that he believed everyone was just good underneath, and that totally didn't work with Muslim extremists. It just didn't work. What he was looking for, he didn't find, and that's why it kind of fell apart. But that's my opinion. Good guy, very ineffective as being president. Sometimes it might have been some of his personal beliefs, but I don't know. It just didn't play out right. And most people, until Biden at least, you know, when people said, who's the worst president of the modern era, everybody would say, Jimmy Carter. You know, that would flop right up to the top of the list because he just wasn't as effective, I'm sure, as what he hoped to be either. And now maybe they would say, you know, people might say Trump too, but, you know, Trump or Obama or Biden would probably be in the top picks for people that people didn't like as president, but who really was ineffective as president. But tell me what you think about Jimmy Carter. Bye.